Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to this week's Everton show. It was very much a case of normal service resumed at Goodison Park last weekend, wasn't it? 3 points against West Ham and the now traditional Romelu Lukaku goal against the Hammers. 9 out of 9 now for the big fella. They must be sick of the sight of him. But we're not, and we'll be hoping that he can help us win a game at Stamford Bridge for the first time since 1994 this Saturday. Alongside me this week is Ian Snowden. It's a long time without a win at Chelsea, but at least we go into the game full of confidence after a much-needed win last weekend.
Yeah, and a good performance as well, second half especially. First half weren't the greatest, but gave West Ham opportunities a couple of times, but second half I thought we played really, really well. Thoroughly deserved our victory.
We looked comfortable, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. To say I was disappointed in West Ham, I might have been slightly, but it was through our good play that we played really well.
It was a really good win. Now let's have a quick look at some of the other Evertonian delights we've got for you in our first show of November.
And I think everybody did a great job defensively. Brian Oviedo played well, defending well. Funes Mori was strong defensively, and the goalkeeper Joel had some important saves at difficult times in the game.
He's strong on the ball. He's not faffing around, and he seems to have a good personality as well. So that's the type of defender I like to see personally. So he's good. He's doing great.
No, that hasn't changed much. It's always as good atmosphere. You always feel good when you walk into Everton dressing room. Nothing like it.
Obviously they've come up a win as well, and on the same day, so it'll be a tough game. But last time I played there, I enjoyed the win, so hopefully I can do it again.
He was always a good player. I think obviously very frustrated at Chelsea. He wanted to play football. You can understand that. I don't think he could have come to a better club. You know, it's a wonderful club to play for. Nearly singing a song there, wasn't I?
Snod, you and I did the commentary again at Goodison Park from the press box on Saturday, and before the game we both agreed that it was a match that Everton needed to win.
Yeah, it were, because we want to stay in contention with the top teams. We certainly did that with this victory, but we needed to show the crowd as well that we are a good side. We're capable, of beating West Ham. And it's shown the fans' reaction at the end of the game. Everybody stayed to the end, everybody applauded, and there were some good performances as well from the players.
Some good goals as well. Yannick Bolasie done smashing for Roms, didn't he?
He did. I don't think you could quite see it, because the pillar was in your way when we were commentating, but I seen it from where it was, and I thought he's done brilliant there. And then in the replay, we both seen it, and it did terrific.
A blossoming partnership, that's for sure. Well, West Ham were fairly stubborn opponents, as Snods alluded to at Goodison Park on Saturday. Slaven Bilic brought his players back to his former stomping ground on the back of a decent run of results. However, on the day, Everton were just too good, and it was a very satisfied Ronald Koeman who spoke to Everton TV after the game.
Yeah, it's a great goal, of course. Great work from Yannick to do the assist at that time. In a sliding, he reacted very fast in the box, and it was an easy header for Romelu.
How pleased were you with Ross Barkley today and the way he played?
Very pleased. I think that's the way how he needs to play. He worked very hard. He was running, and that's what you need to do. And then normally these kind of players with the individual qualities, what they have, they make the difference. And he had some shots on target. He scored the second goal, and that's the player what we want to see from the midfield.
And from a coach's perspective, the clean sheet as well, back to a tight defensive display, that's obviously pleasing as well for yourself.
Yeah, very pleased. I think it's always important to have again a clean sheet after what happened last week. We had some changes in the defence, and I think everybody did a great job defensively. Brian Oviedo played well, defending well. Funes Mori was strong defensively, and the goalkeeper Joel had some important saves at difficult times in the game. And the whole team performance was very positive today.
It's a really interesting point the gaffer makes there about the clean sheet, because big decisions, obviously Joe Robles was forced upon him, but to bring in Funes Mori instead of Jags was quite brave.
Yeah, it was. Surprised as well when I seen the team sheet to leave your skipper out, but obviously he's left him out for certain reasons. But Funes Mori did ever so well. He competes well, Funes, in the air, wins his headers, likes to attack corner kicks for us as well. So, but I'm glad the boss mentioned Brian Oviedo as well, because I was close to giving him man of the match. Obviously, I gave it to Ross Barkley for his performance, but I thought Brian played really, really well on the day.
He's been nice and steady, hasn't he, Brian, since he came into the side, since Leighton's injury?
Yeah, that's right. He's obviously, we do miss Leighton. Leighton's a quality fullback, but I thought Brian Oviedo, on the other day was absolutely outstanding. Got forward, but his defensive duties, he was outstanding.
Always puts a shift in, doesn't he, Brian? Well, back in September 2013, Romelu Lukaku, then on loan from Chelsea, marked his Everton debut with the winning goal at Upton Park against West Ham. We didn't know it at the time, but that was to become a pleasing and very regular habit. 9 times he's faced the hammers for Everton, and he's found the net every single time. Once against Jussi Jääskeläinen and 8 times against Adrian. His close-range header last weekend broke the deadlock, and after the game he was joined by man of the match Ross Barkley to discuss the win.
Yeah, great result today. We done what we needed to do, get the 3 points, and we topped it off with it. When me and the big man got a goal, and as well as a good team performance and a clean sheet for the lads. Yeah.
Romelu, 9 games against West Ham for Everton, 9 goals. How much did that one though owe to Yannick Bolasie just keeping the ball alive?
Yeah, it was a good move by the whole team, I think. And yeah, Yannick, you know, is shining. He's getting that striker's instinct. So I'm very pleased for him to get another assist, and for Ross as well getting his goal. So yeah, it's a good win for the team, and now we have to keep going.
That's quite well for you, Yannick, doesn't he? He's made a few goals for you now.
Yeah, he's done well. It's done well, but you know, like the manager said, we need to be more productive as a whole group. I think we have a lot of quality up front, and especially in the defence. And if we score more goals, then we'll get more wins.
Do you go into games now against West Ham knowing almost that you're going to score?
No, I just want to win. That's it. I just want to win. Today was important for us to win, and we did it. So we have to continue and improve.
Ross, the manager's challenged you and all the other attacking players behind Romelu to score more. So the goal must have felt good. It looked like it did.
Yeah, it meant a lot. I mean, you know, I haven't scored for a few games now, but yeah, obviously it came through a difficult spell, but I've just been working hard, and today it paid off by getting the goal, which the big man set on the plate for me.
It always feels like people are watching you, wanting more, expecting more almost. What about for yourself? What targets do you set? How do you feel about your own form?
You know, there's a platform to kick on from today, but the main thing is just to win. But for myself, it's to obviously get more goals and put more on the plate for the team as well as the big man.
Okay, well done. You're the Premier League man of the match today, so it's a good start. Well done.
There's our 2 match winners there, Romelu Lukaku and Ross Barkley. Let's have some more reaction now to that 2-0 win against West Ham. This is what Koeman made of it all.
The manager said a word that we were kind of a little bit off it in the first half, and I thought the lads upped it a little bit, and I thought Ross was brilliant, to be fair, in the second half, and deserved his goal, and you know, as I said, we're coming out of here happy.
He played really well today. Rossi was at the centre of everything.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He's a good lad, Ross. He works hard, and I thought he was brilliant today, and that's what Ross Barkley's all about.
And Rom, his record against West Ham continues. That's 9 goals in 9 matches now. Since he's become an Everton player, he's scored against West Ham whenever we've played him. It's an unbelievable record.
Yeah, it is. It's brilliant. Look, Rom's a top goal scorer, and he's obviously enjoyed his spell against West Ham, but he's very important to this team, and you know, he knows where the back of the net is. Top goal scorer, and I thought his all-round play was brilliant as well.
And as you were saying at the top of the interview here, it's important to get back to winning ways. We've gone 5 without a win, and now we've got that monkey off our backs.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit of a period where we hadn't been winning games, which is disappointing, but we knew it wasn't far away, and as I said, coming here to Goodison today, we knew we had a great chance of getting the 3 points and getting back on the board, and looking forward to going to Chelsea now.
Finally, Seamus, just a word on Joel today. That was his first game of the season, a clean sheet. He did everything that was asked of him.
Yeah, look, I'm sure it's not easy for a goalkeeper coming in last minute when the Martin had to step out, but he'd done brilliant, and you know, Joel's been training well, and as a goalkeeper you've always got to be ready, and I thought he was very important for us today. Some great saves and very calm between the sticks.
Seamus Koeman mentioned Joel Robles there, Snods, and it was a big day for Joel, and I thought the boy done smashing.
He did really well, considering he's had no game time whatsoever. To come straight in, and you know what a position that is, the goalkeeping position. It's the most difficult position on the pitch. So, and I thought he handled himself very well. His handling were good, produced a great save as well. So overall, no faults with Joe Robles at all.
Should he play a few under-23 games?
Yeah, I think so. But obviously things have changed since we played, when there were reserve team, etc. and stuff like that. But I would ask if that were me to play in the under-23s, just to keep that momentum going, match experience.
Ross Barkley was your man of the match?
Yeah, I've been waiting for that performance. I really have, because I'm his biggest fan. When he's on, I don't think there's a better midfield player in the country. He excites people, and he certainly excites me. Keep that going. I'm afraid to say.
Played with a smile on his face, didn't he? What we love to see. Right, we're taking a short break right now. When we come back, we'll feature Sylvain Distin, David Unsworth, and a very special little boy who made his first ever visit to Goodison Park last weekend. Welcome back to part 2 of this week's Everton show. Now, we had another very special guest at Goodison Park for the weekend game with West Ham. 2-year-old Kobe was born without a right forearm, but the brave little chap hasn't let it hinder his opportunity for fun, especially after his mother arranged for him to be fitted with a prosthetic limb designed in the style of his favourite team. We invited Kobe and his family to the game so he could show his new limb to the players.
Went to the 20-week scan and the sonographer basically she went very quiet when she was scanning us and sat me up and basically said, you know, unfortunately I can't see a right forearm or a right hand on your baby, and then sent me off for more scans, and it was confirmed obviously that he had a limb deficiency. We came across on the internet, on social media, the charity called Enable, which is an American charity. And they were making 3D, you know, with the 3D printers, 3D printed arms for kiddies, the same. You can make them any design, any colour, any size. And I said to Mike, when he was about 2 weeks old, I thought, we're going to get him an Everton arm made, so he can wear his Everton kit, and he can, you know, boost his confidence. And, you know, look at me, you know, I'm unique. I'm the only one, you know, with the Everton arm. So that's what we did. This is it. So 20 hours to print, 2 hours to put together, and when he bends the elbow, the fingers grip so he can grip. So it's very lightweight, as you can tell. It only costs £25 to £30 to make in plastic and parts. So that means obviously as he's getting bigger we can make different designs, different colours, different styles. You know, if he wanted like an Iron Man one, we're going to get him an Iron Man one. But this is obviously the first and the favourite.
Kobe's first game, how excited has he been in the lead up to this?
He's been saying Everton in the car, and we're going to play football. But he's enjoying himself now by the looks of it. But yeah, really excited, and we're really, really humbled by Everton's generosity and you know, everything that we've encountered here today. We're really, really grateful. We can't thank the fans enough. I mean, it's phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Like Mike was saying, as soon as he posted it, we were getting thousands and thousands and thousands of notifications, and it was getting shared. It was, you know, as I say, it's reached Dubai, it's reached Australia, you know, and the amount of people that have said this is so inspirational, especially for young kiddies, to say, you know, okay, I'm a little bit different, but you know, let's embrace it.
Seemingly every week on the Everton show now, Snoz, we have a heartwarming story, and that's another fantastic story. I love that piece of film.
Yeah, I did. First time I've seen it. I didn't see him at the game either. I think it was filmed a little bit earlier than I actually got there. But no, it's fantastic what we do as a club, and I thought his mum spoke really, really well there.
It's a great lift for the parents, isn't it? Who've had a little bit of a difficult time to come along and see him enjoying himself, kicking a ball about on the pitch at Goodison Park, meet the players. There he is with Ashley Williams. It must give the parents a real fill-up.
Yeah, and it's great for the players as well when they see people like that are still smiling, whatever the deficiency is. He's in his Everton kit. He looked fantastic, and he looks to have a good right foot as well when he kicked the ball. So you never know. One day.
Great reception, by the way, for Howard Kendall in the 4th minute. The applause. Yeah,
didn't expect anything else, even from the West Ham fans as well. They were outstanding as well, the West Ham fans. But he deserved it. He deserves more than a minute's applause.
Absolutely, and his wife Lily was there as well, which was lovely. Now, there was a familiar face in the players' tunnel after the game on Saturday. Sylvain Distin played 210 times for Everton, and he was back at Goodison to meet his former teammates as well as his many friends amongst the staff.
It's always good to come back here and to see everybody, you know, see the staff, see Paula, see all the old ladies here from behind the scene that nobody ever sees. So no, you know, I spend a lot of time here, so I've got quite a few friends and people that always enjoy coming and spend time with.
Yeah, like you say, you've been there in the dressing room, you've been in the medical room. So many people here who are your friends.
Too many people. But it's nice, you know. As I said, it's bring me some memories, and then a good time that I spend here. So it's always a pleasure.
And you brought the lads some good luck today. An excellent 2-0 win.
I don't think they need good luck. You know, they're doing great. They're doing great, and offensively they are really impressive when they want to. So second half was a good second half.
Yeah, what did you make of our team's performance today overall?
Good. I think the first half was maybe a little bit flat. I'm not sure why, but second half they came with better intention and they made the difference. You know, there's so much talent offensively. I think defensively they brought the right player in as well. I think Jags was missing. He's my friend, so I have to put a word for him. But I think having a player like Ashley, I think it's important. And you can see the stability at the back. So it's just offensively to be a bit more consistent, I'm going to say. But the quality is there, and yeah, most of them are young players as well. So with time, he will come.
How highly do you rate Ashley?
Good. That's also right away. He'll be the perfect fit. He'll be the perfect fit. He's strong on the ball. He's not faffing around, and he seems to have a good personality as well. So that's the type of defender I like to see personally. So he's good. He's doing great.
And great that two people you know well, Rom and Ross, got the goals this afternoon.
Yeah. Well, Rom, I think same as Ross. To be fair, as I said, the young they need to be a bit more consistent. But we keep saying the young, but time is flying. I know what I'm talking about. Time is flying. So hopefully they'll move to another level this season, and that'll be good for them.
I'm a bit surprised there, Snod. Sylvain's clearly let himself go, hasn't he, since he finished playing?
Tell you what, he looks no different, does he, to when he played for us? But he used to be a player that I used to love watching. He really did. As you say, he looked after his body really well. That's why he's played for so long. But he was a good player, and I enjoyed his performances for us.
I was one of about half a dozen staff waiting in the players' tunnel for him to finish his interview so we could all say hello. He was such a popular guy.
Yeah, he came straight up to me, Sharpie and Diamond, in reception as well, and shook his hands, remembers us as well. So, yeah, he's a lovely, lovely fella, and he's got time for everybody. He mentioned all the backroom staff before he even started his interview. That sums him up in one.
He got Everton Football Club as soon as he walked in through the door, and we tend to find players like that, don't we? Ashley Williams is the same. He's been terrific on and off the pitch.
Yeah, it is difficult to describe what Everton is, but as soon as you get to the club, Dad, you do realise what kind of club it is. And you're right, Sylvain bought into it straight away. He got on well with everybody. All his teammates liked him as well, and his performances spoke for themselves. He really enjoyed his time at Everton.
And they've all got a lot of respect for yourself and Diamond and Sharpie, as you say, which
it's
is
great.
Lovely.
It is good. It's good to have that the players respect us for what we did, playing for Everton, and we respect them.
Quite right too. Now, our regular viewers will know that Everton under-23s are having a terrific season so far. The Blues played Chelsea at Southport on Monday night and they drew 1-1. The share of the spoils meant that they passed up the chance to leapfrog Manchester City back to the top of the table. But here's the best of the action and the views of David Unsworth after the final whistle.
Everton under-23s recovered from conceding an early goal to pick up a point against Chelsea at Southport on Monday evening. David Unsworth's side were looking to return to the top of the table after defeat against Liverpool last time out, but suffered a setback when visiting winger Dujon Sterling fired home with just 4 minutes on the clock. Everton set about getting themselves back into the game and equalised before half-time. After keeper Matthias Huelt had produced a stunning save to deny Ike Ugbo at one end, Harry Charsley levelled the scores for the Toffees. David Hennen provided the assist with a clever back heel, and Charsley did the rest, bending the ball home with aplomb. Both sides had chances to win it in the second period, but it was Everton who could have snatched all 3 points with 6 minutes left, only for skipper John Joe Kenny to stab over.
Little tinge of disappointment that we didn't go on and win it, because I thought we looked the stronger team towards the end. Made a couple of substitutions, but little half chances towards the end, but we just couldn't get that little bit of quality to go and win the game. But outstanding performance. The reaction after going a goal down after 5 minutes was some of the best. One of the best reactions I've seen from this group of players, and that's saying something. So delighted with the performance tonight, and I thought it was a really good game. Two very good sides at this level, yeah, it was a great point.
The under-23s there, Snod's playing Chelsea, not far from your neck of the woods up in Southport. Such a fog, was there?
Yeah, me and Diamond went, and when the fog started to descend, I nudged him and I just said, "Have you opened your wallet?" And he gave me that cockney look.
It would have been thicker than that, by the way.
But I tell you what, it was a great game. It really was. It was a proper game. Like the under-21s when it used to be 21s or the 18s. Well, there's a lot of passing around and no tackles, but that was a proper game of football. And John Koeman was sat next to me and he said he likes coming to watch Everton in particular at this level because you get a proper game of football. There's tackles go in, they move the ball quickly, they love to defend, they love to go forward. So he said he loves coming to watch our 23s.
They must be doing something right if John Coleman likes watching Everton,
I
by
know,
the way.
I know, because he is a Red, and we all know that. And he lets me know, by the way, but yeah, that's high praise from him because he does. He loves coming to watch our 23s.
I like the phrase reaction from David Unsworth. It's all right playing well, but you need to react when the chips are down.
Yeah, there were some good performances as well. They worked tirelessly. Chelsea looked composed on the ball. They had some useful players, which you would expect, but we got about them, and I think we deserved to win.
A great goal as well. Well done to Harry Charsley. Right, we're halfway through this week's programme. It's our big interview slot after this short break, and I'm sure you'll all enjoy watching the afternoon at Goodison Park when Joe Royle met Tommy Wright. Welcome back to part 3. We've got a couple of genuine cast-iron Everton legends for you right now. Joe Royle and Tommy Wright played 650 games between them for Everton Football Club, contributing a combined total of 123 goals, 4 of which were Tommy's, by the way. The former England right-back, who won the league and the FA Cup with Everton, was inducted into the club's official Hall of Fame recently, and he was delighted to come back to his beloved Goodison Park to meet his old mate, Big Joe.
He's, I mentioned before, he's up there with the best, you know, the best right backs for England. In my opinion, the best right back I've seen in a blue shirt. I go back to Don Donovan and Alex Parker, or the great, you know, so Gary Stevens and of course Seamus, Slately, Earl Barrett, all internationals, and Tom's up there with the best I played with.
Tom, I know you don't like talking about yourself, so let's talk about the big guy. How good a centre forward was Joe Royle?
Very good, Joe. He took up positions where you could find him. He'd point to them, actually. I want it there, I want it there. And he was great on free kicks and corners.
And it makes a difference having Evertonians, lifelong Evertonians like yourself and Joe Royle in the team.
Oh, it's great. I think that's the problem today. There's not enough local people in our teams.
There's a lot of locals or a lot of ex-Everton players down at Finch Farm, isn't there, Joe? And Tommy's got a point, hasn't he? It does make a difference.
Of course it does. If you look at our side, you know, Tom and I, you were Norris Green as well, weren't you? We were both Norris Green boys. And then, of course, your imports like Jimmy Husband came in, John Hurst from Blackpool, but they'd only been here 10 minutes and they were Evertonians. So if you get your own kids coming through, it makes such a difference. They have a passion for the club. They have an understanding for the club. They have a feeling for the club.
Great to see you back at Goodison Park in the home dressing room, Tom. Has it changed much?
Oh, yeah. No, it hasn't changed much. It's always as good atmosphere. You always feel good when you walk into Everton's dressing room. Nothing like it.
When did you know you were in the team? When did Harry tell you were in the team?
He pulled me over in training and he said, do you fancy playing number 2? And I said, yeah, I'll give it a go. So he said, well, you're in tomorrow. So made my day.
He makes it sound so simple, but he must have made an impression on Harry Catterick, who I suppose was difficult to please, Joe.
Well, he was hard, but he was always fair, Darren. You know, as long as you didn't mess with Harry Catterick, he was good with you. And if you were honest, and Tom was an honest player, he would see that. We actually met in the dressing room here, you know, when we were both having pre-season injuries, you know, having hot and cold. It was hot and cold and everything in those days. And we got to meet each other and just discussing, and he said, well, it's a big season for me. You know, I'm 19 now and almost 19. I've got to break into the reserves. And if you look at the squad pictures in those days, they went on forever, like 50 pros. So it was an achievement to get in the reserves. And anyhow, as Tom said, they tried him out at full-back for a few games in the A-team and then full-back in the reserves. And in one season, he went from the A-team to an England under-23 international in a new position. Fantastic.
And you used to watch Everton as a kid, Tom, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, the boys' pen. Nightmares to get in. We used to walk up from Norris Green, cut across this cemetery, and go into the boys' pen. As I said, it was ninepence to get in.
Who were the players you used to watch then? Who were your favourite players in those days?
Well, Everton had a fairly good side then. I'm trying to think of the players.
Youngie and all that.
Well, Youngie. Well, I seen Youngie and then playing at Belfield, and it was brilliant. And when I first got to full back, John Morrissey was on the wing, so he played as if it was a full-blooded cup tie.
Well, he played one way, John, didn't he?
He was a player, Joe, wasn't he?
Oh, terrific! Another underrated player. I had a great rapport with John. You know, when I knew whether he was going to come inside or go outside, and he knew a cross was coming, so you could get in the box and time your run accordingly. But John, very, very underrated player, and certainly, nobody messed with John. He was a tough cookie.
You must have been glad to have him in front of you and not against you.
Oh, it was great. But Everton had a few players like that who give everything. Like, I thought Derek Temple was underrated. He had great skills, Derek.
What was it like for an Evertonian, as you said, watch the team in the boys' pen, graduated through the ranks to play at Wembley in the FA Cup final and win the cup for Everton?
Oh, it was one of your dreams, and to see all the fans when we come out the ground with the cup, it was magnificent. And then when we got off the train, by where I live now, the station was just round the corner there.
Did you have a good night celebrating after beating Sheffield Wednesday?
No, it was all lemonade.
You got to enjoy the good times, Joe, haven't you?
Of course you have, and the fans do as well. It's what it's all about, is getting down to Wembley or winning the league. It's very vague. I was a young guy myself when we won the league, so it wasn't anything too heavy, believe me. But you got to enjoy it more as you got older, and as you appreciate, it might be the last one. You never know.
Supporters of a certain age, Tom, still speak with reverence about the 1969-70 team that won the Football League Championship under Harry Catterick. It must have been a pleasure to be part of that team.
Oh, it was brilliant. Everything just clicked. The shame was it broke up too soon, I think. Different players getting injured and people losing the form, and it was never the same again.
How good were the Holy Trinity? Harvey, Kendall and Bull.
Well, they were the only two who played.
That's what Labby used to say to Brian, only team to win the championship with 3 players.
But they were great players, all of them. Yeah.
The World Cup in 1970, some memorable games for England against Brazil and West Germany. Did that take a lot out of you physically, Tom?
I don't think so, no. It was hot over there, like, and that, but didn't seem to.
Some people point at that at times, don't they? Your Keith Newtons, your Borleys, your Labbies, your Tommies out there in Mexico.
Well, Harry Catterick said that afterwards, the fact that 4 went to the World Cup and I think 3 of us got married, he was one of his talking points as to why the side didn't achieve in its second year what it had just done the year before, which was demoralise the league. But for whatever reason it was, I don't know, it's still a mystery. With Borley going probably too soon, I think Harry had it in his mind that Alan was trying to get somewhere else. Alan always denied it. Whenever I spoke to him afterwards, whatever it was, he sold him and he felt it was good money. We didn't, and I think we all felt also that made us all a bit vulnerable because Alan was always his captain and his main man.
Just to go back to the World Cup, what was it like to share a pitch with the likes of Jairzinho and Pele and Rivellino, players like that?
Hard. But it was great, playing with Bobby Charlton, Bobby Moore and all them, great players. They all welcomed you into the team, so you give it your best shot.
The first anniversary of Howard's passing is upon us, Joe, and it seems to have gone very, very quickly.
I was just going to say, Darren, I can't believe that's 12 months ago when I got the call on the Saturday morning, and I spoke to Howard on the Friday. And of course it was the game against Manchester United, and if you see the effect that one man can have on 40,000 people here, there was no atmosphere that day. Goodison Park without atmosphere.
Terribly sad loss, Tommy, and I suppose you, like everybody else, thinks about Howard all the time.
Loved Howard. He was a great player. He didn't do enough caps for England, which he should have done. And it was a sad, sad day for all football fans.
He was a character, was he, when he was a player as much as when he was a manager?
Oh, yeah. He was quite witty at times, Howard. Well, he thought he was witty.
He loved to hold court, didn't he?
Well, that came later. I mean, it was a great team spirit amongst the side. We were all in early enough to enjoy the team spirit every day, and you would go home with sore ribs from laughing. You know, Wesley and Labby together were a double act. You know, and then and Howard, we'd all chip in with our own feelings and that, but they were the sort of mainstay of the humour in the dressing room. But Labby used to come in every day and give Howard a bang on the head.
For any particular reason?
No, just felt like it. Yeah.
So that's yet another lovely piece of film. Two Everton legends, let's make no mistake about it, but two lovely, lovely guys.
Only one problem with that, Daz. Didn't go on long enough. I could have listened to that for hours. I really could. I know I couldn't play when I first came to when I signed. I couldn't play the first game. I don't know what reason it were. I don't know if I'd not signed before a certain deadline or whatever. And Howard pulled me into his manager's office before the game and said, "I want you to meet the best right back that's ever played the game." And I shook hands with Tommy Wright, and I got to know him really, really well. Great fella, always there every home game we played when Colin were manager as well. So yeah, it's great to see him and the memories he's got, and he's just a modest man, and he
so humble.
When he said he played against Pelé, Jairzinho, and he went, "Oh, it were hot." I'm thinking, dear me. So that's the kind of fella he is. Yeah, great. I could have listened to that for hours. I could.
He's so humble, isn't he? I really couldn't get out of him exactly what it was like to play against Pelé.
No, and he must have been some player, because every Evertonian who's played, obviously, around that era, always puts him in his greatest 11 that's played for Everton. Tommy Wright's always in there.
Tommy Wright there. Legend, Evertonian, and of course, a great footballer. And that's us for the third segment of the programme. Coming up in part 4, we'll hear from board member and Deputy CEO Denise Barrett-Baxendale, and Yannick Bolasie and Tony Cottee look ahead to the Saturday evening visit to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea. We're in the fourth and final part of this week's Everton show. We sat down with Denise Barrett-Baxendale at Finch Farm recently to discuss a number of important club issues. Denise, awarded the MBE, of course, for her services to the Merseyside community, discussed Everton's stance on the living wage, and revealed how she went to Rome to meet the Pope.
Yeah, I mean, we're fondly referred to as the People's Club. We are the People's Club, so we have to start with our own people first, don't we? And we have to make sure that we have parity of provision, we have a fair deal, we create conditions for employees that they're proud of. So the living wage accreditation is something that I've been really key to secure for the organisation. Absolutely delighted, really delighted that we've been able to secure that. We're very honoured to have that People's Club, mantle. Well, you have to deliver against that. You have to, when you're held up with that, then you have to deliver against it, and you have to show your staff, yes, this is what it means to us. So it's important. Well, what an absolute privilege. It was a privilege. I think I had to take a couple of glances at the letter when it first arrived, just to make sure it was authentic, and I was just thrilled, really, really thrilled. What a fantastic accolade for the staff, for me to be invited to represent Everton in the community, to represent Everton Football Club at such a prestigious event. It means we're doing things well, doesn't it? It means that people want to hear our story. People want us to be involved in developing strategies and principles that can be applied globally. So I went to the Vatican. It was for a week. It was really hard work. We were there working with people, as I say, global representatives from sport, from the United Nations, from the Vatican. And we had a private address with the Pope. So we had a papal address whereby the Pope shared with us his declaration and principles that he wanted to work on over the next 2 years, which involved sport for humanity, how we could use sport as a real catalyst to engage, and a catalyst for social good. And then he presented his declaration. He asked us to go away as practitioners, senior practitioners in the field, and test whether they were the right principles, and test whether these were things that we should be sharing globally and how we could work on them. So really exciting to be at the forefront of those developments, and to have play an integral part in debating and discussing those, and looking at how we could formulate a response for the papal office.
So now to this mantra of being the People's Club, it was first coined by David Moyes when he arrived at the club back in 2002, and people like Denise are making sure that we remain the People's Club, which we are.
I think it's a great title. I really do, the People's Club, because you're right, as we are. We care about our fans all the time, driven by this lady as well. What she does in the community is absolutely fantastic.
It's life-changing, Everton community, is it? We've seen that for ourselves, literally changes people's lives.
Yeah, we're involved as ambassadors. We're involved in a lot of these visits, and it is great to see people smiling when you walk through that door, and when you leave, they're sad that you're going. It's great.
One of the many, many things that make us proud to be blue. Right, let's look at the football now, and let's get the dismal statistic out of the way before we preview the Premier League game at Chelsea on Saturday. Everton haven't won at Stamford Bridge in any of our last 25 visits in all competitions. Paul Wright was the last Everton player to net a winning goal at the ground, and he was 52 in August. For that to change, we need the likes of Yannick Bolasie firing on all cylinders. The winger has really hit the ground running at Everton, striking up a terrific and very fruitful partnership with Romelu Lukaku. Yannick is hoping to follow up last week's win with another big result in the city, where he learned his footballing trade.
Yeah, it's a good result. You know, obviously we needed a win after going 5 games without, you know, a club like Everton. You know, that's pretty much a long time for the supporters. So to get 3 points was delightful. So now we've got to move on and look forward to the next game.
You mentioned before you're settling in with all your teammates now. How are you settling in the area and in the club itself?
Yeah, trying to settle in fine. You know, obviously my family is down as well, so that helps and plays a massive part. And you know, knowing Rom from before as well, that's helped me massively, definitely.
Looking at the supporters, you mentioned when you first signed, you were expecting there to be a big following. Have you been surprised by just how many numbers Everton take to away games in particular?
Yeah, you know, always filling up the away end, you know, which has been surprising. To be honest, Palace fans were good as well, but you know, the Everton fans have definitely surprised me the way they come in numbers.
A trip to Stamford Bridge coming up as well, that must be an exciting one for yourself and the lads.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for us. Obviously they've come off a win as well, and on the same day, so it'll be a tough game, but last time I played there I enjoyed the win, so hopefully I can do it again.
Just finally a quick word on Ross Barkley as well, a big goal for him at the weekend. Just how impressed have you been with him since you first arrived here?
Yeah, Ross, obviously everyone knows that he's got the quality, and you know, for him to get the goal on Saturday has definitely been a booster for himself personally, you know, in confidence, and you know, I'm sure he's going to be looking forward to the Chelsea game and proving his worth again.
It's not barring any unforeseen mishaps. Big Rom and Yannick will be in the side at Chelsea on Saturday, but Idrissa Gueye will not be. He's suspended.
Yeah, picked up a booking against West Ham, which will be disappointing because we need players like him, especially down at Stamford Bridge. They're a good side, got a lot of good players, good movement, and Idrissa just gives you that bite in midfield, so he will be missed, definitely. But the players shown, they went to Man City, who I believe are a better side than Chelsea. They got a point there, we took the lead. So we've got capable players of upsetting Chelsea, so let's go down there, let's defend properly, let's defend like we did against West Ham, be solid, and then when we get the opportunity to counter-attack, let's go and hit them quickly. And yeah, I think we'll get a result, as I really do.
Never a yellow card either, was it?
No,
just a little
there's
nudge.
a lot of yellow cards that shouldn't have been this season.
Right, Tony Cottee's Everton career ended frustratingly on 99 goals. The former striker, once of course our record signing, is now very much a part of Sky Sports' football pundit squad, and he was back at Goodison Park last Saturday. Tony believes that Romelu Lukaku will be keen to show just what he's all about when he returns to his own former club this weekend.
I think he's improved fantastically, but he was always a good player. I think obviously very frustrated at Chelsea. He wanted to play football, you can understand that. I don't think he could have come to a better club. You know, it's a wonderful club to play for. Nearly singing a song there, wasn't I? But yeah, he's a great player, and I just would like to see him maybe get a little bit more support. I don't know whether there is a solution at the club. You know, whether there's somebody who could play alongside him. You know, maybe bring someone to the club, because I think there's a huge responsibility on his shoulders, and you don't want it to be the case that if Romelu's not scoring, then Everton don't score. That's not what you want. You know, you want players chipping in from all parts of the team. So hopefully they can give him a bit of support. But I'm a huge fan, and I'm really pleased he's doing well for the club.
You know what it's like to go back and play against former clubs, just how much we'd be looking forward to going back to Chelsea next weekend, and also having the confidence of having scored against them here back in March.
Well, I think you always want to prove a point, and he will be frustrated that it didn't work out for him at Chelsea. Chelsea's a big club. They're playing in European football. Obviously not this season, but they're normally in European football, and he would have wanted to have done well there. And when you sort of feel that you have to move on, which he obviously did, then when you go back, you want to prove the point. And I left West Ham and signed for Everton, and when Everton, as an Everton player, I played against West Ham. You're trying to prove a point, and then I went back to West Ham, and then I'm trying to prove a point to the Everton fans. So it's just how it is, and you always want to try and prove a point to the people, and just say, well, look, I can still score goals, and if you'd have kept me, this is what I would do for you. So he'll be looking forward to next weekend.
I know you've been keeping a close eye on Chelsea, doing your media work. What's Cottee done to change them, do you think?
Well, I think he's been fiddling around with the team a little bit. I think I was at the West Ham game. West Ham played really, really well. Chelsea made 2 or 3 changes. It's hard to judge them really, but I think he looks like he's going to go to the preferred 3 at the back, which we've seen him do with Juve and with Italy as well. And I think when you've got JT, Gary Cahill and David Luiz as well, I think it's probably the right system to play. Obviously Ivanovic comes into it, Kurt Zuma comes back, so he's got an abundance of centre halves that he can play. I think 3 at the back for Chelsea probably works. We all know the talent they've got going forward. You don't need me to tell you how good Costa is, and Oscar and Hazard and Willian and all those guys. They've got some great players. So I think what Chelsea have got to do, which they didn't do last season, is get it right at the back, and I'm sure Conte will do that.
There's not much of Tony Cottee, Snods. He's not the tallest centre forward we've ever had, but he could score goals.
He certainly could. Obviously, it was at my time. I were at the club with TC, and he did. When any one-on-one chances or anything in the 6-yard box, you always knew that he was going to be there, and you go back to your starting position, because 9 times out of 10 he'd inevitably score.
Would you tell Romelu Lukaku to play on David Luiz this weekend?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think they're playing with a 3 now, does Chelsea, and I think it gives him a bit more licence, David Luiz, to come out and play a little bit. So I'm not sure whether he'll be the back man, but if he is, I would tell Rom to play on him, because now and again he takes that little risk, and if Ron can get in there, he's got the power, the pace to trouble them.
Be great to get a win down there, wouldn't it?
It'd be fantastic. I couldn't believe that when you read it out, the stat, and Paul Rideout, a year younger than me, were the last person.
Yeah, but he looks a lot older than you, Snods. Don't worry about that. And that's just about it for another Everton show. On Saturday, it will be 8,015 days since Everton recorded a victory at Stamford Bridge. Now, all runs must come to an end eventually, so let's hope that Bonfire Night 2016 is finally our time in West London. My thanks to Snods for joining us this week, and thanks, as always, to all of you for watching. We've enjoyed your company, and we hope you'll join us again next week. Until then, enjoy your weekend.